Is homesteading and prepping a trend, or is it a way of life? Is this just going to be some kind of fad that, sticks around for a little bit, or is this some way that maybe you and your family can continue for the rest of your lives and go on and provide some kind of self-sufficiency for you? Well, that's what we're talking about today, but the only way you're going to find out more is if you stay tuned. I'm Jason, and welcome back to Cattywampus Acres. If you're part of our Cattywampus crew, thanks for coming back. And if you're new to this channel and you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell right next to it so you can keep up to date with everything we're doing right here in the farm. And just because we don't know the algorithm works, hit that thumbs up for us and share the video with your friends on whatever platform that may be. So when we talk about homesteading, we need to figure out what it actually is. And homesteading is basically just a life of self-sufficiency. It came around back in the day when we were all settling and the Homestead Act and all that, and we really don't need to get into all that. But homesteading was basically providing a way of life for you and your family. And nowadays, it's one of those things where you can either choose to go to the grocery store and completely rely on somebody else and some grocery store to provide all of your family's food and all of their nourishment, or you can raise your own food and grow your own food, whether that be fruits and vegetables or animals of whatever kind, and you can provide a way of life for your family. That, in a nutshell, is really what homesteading is all about. So then we move on to prepping. What is prepping? Prepping is just one of those things, I think in North America primarily, we consider basically preparing your family and your way of life for some kind of catastrophic event, some kind of food shortage, maybe it be some just horrible apocalyptic type of situation. But that's essentially, when we talk about prepping, that's what we're talking about. So these are actually two different things, but I definitely think they go hand in hand, and certainly with what we do here, they can go hand in hand. Some days we are doing some little prepping things, but pretty much every day, no matter what we're doing, it has something to do with our homesteading. If we were to just prep all the time, we would not be prepared to eat and actually be ready for every day when we wake up and our family's hungry and stuff like that. But if we didn't prep at all and something were to go bad, like let's say something just as minor, not that it's minor, but something as minor as just a small food shortage in our area. If we weren't prepared with some freeze-dried food, some canned foods and stuff like that, I don't know, we might not be doing too well at that point, depending on the time of year and what we're growing and what we're raising. Even if it was something as simple as a water outage or a power outage that went for, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is that the kind of thing we'd be prepared for? So like I said, I think homesteading and prepping really go hand in hand, and I think they both are necessary if you want to provide for your family and not rely on going to a grocery store or supermarket for everything your family needs. Well, like I had mentioned, homesteading is definitely something that we've chosen as our way of life. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. Sometimes we're doing really good. This past winter, we really didn't grow any vegetables. We don't necessarily always do well with providing all of our own food. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that we are 100% self-sufficient or anything like that, because that is not true. Please don't believe that. But we have chosen it as a lifestyle and not to be a fad or short-term kind of thing. Now, I am the generation, I am a Zennial, as they are called. I was born back in 1982, back in the 1900s. And I am a part of a generation where we sort of we're a little bit Gen X, a little bit millennial, and to me, I want to work hard, and I also want to provide for my family, and some of that's my raising, some of it's generational, some of it is what it is. Now, Lauren, on the other hand, Lauren is a millennial, and so Lauren was born in 1990, and she's got a little bit of a different mindset, and she grew up a little bit different than me. So when Lauren and I got married, we actually had a little bit different mindset when it came to growing our own food, raising our own food and stuff. But since we've been married and since we've grown together, I can say that we've decided this is what we want to do forever. But if you read about a lot of millennials are actually wanting to go back. They are, we're getting technologically advanced and we're learning a lot, and And I think technology is great. Obviously, I'm talking to you through a camera, through the internet, through social media. So obviously, I think technology is a good thing. It is a good thing. But it can fail us very, very easy. And so the question comes up is, where are you going to be when that technology fails? Because I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It will happen at some point, whether it be for long term or whether it just be for a short stint. What are you going to do if the lights go out? Now, I do know that this can be sort of a trendy thing. It's very exciting to watch somebody on the internet raise a chicken and then get an egg and go pick an egg out of a coop, and it's all beautiful and pretty and everything, and you go inside and they crack the egg and it looks glorious, and you're like, I want chickens. Well, I would agree with you. You do need chickens, and chickens are very, very easy to raise, but that is something that we've had chickens for years and years, and they are very easy animals, and we are going to have chickens forever. But a lot of people we know and a lot of people we've met get chickens for a little bit. They do the egg thing for a little bit. Then maybe the noise, maybe something about their neighborhood or something causes them to get rid of chickens. And in that case, that would be a trend. Also, some people are sort of jumping on the homesteading prepping bandwagon, certainly the homesteading end of things, because it's a little bit more eco-friendly. Like, obviously, a lot of people want to be green, or whatever you may call it, green, organic, and that kind of thing. But we here, we're Christians, and we believe God wants us to be good stewards of everything He's given us. And so I would never kill one of our animals just to be mean. I would never raise a crop that we didn't need. I think when God wants us to be good stewards, He's talking about everything we raise, no matter what it is, whether it be fruits, vegetables, our home, the buildings we build here, and any kind of animal we raise, that no matter what it is, He wants us to take good care of it and understand that everything we do has a purpose. Now, one thing I'm going to give you a warning: if you've never homesteaded or prepped before, it's not overly easy. It may seem easy in the beginning, and certainly if you have a bunch of money to start out with, it can sort of be easy to get going, but losing an animal to maybe weather or just nature, that stinks. It stinks. We've been there, and that is no fun, and that's hard. And it's sort of hard to realize that if you're raising hundreds of animals, you're going to lose some occasionally, and that hurts. Also, it may be easy to grow maybe one broccoli plant or one head of cabbage or something like that, but when it gets into basically surviving and prepping and raising food to provide for your family and not needing to go to the grocery store, you need to grow a lot more than that. And what if it's just a crappy year and you end up losing a whole crop of whatever you're growing? Like, we've had years where we've really had an abundance of fruits and vegetables, and we've had years where we had really not a whole lot. And that's when we've relied on other places and other people to trade with and buy, so we can supplement what we didn't get that year. So all in all, it's not always easy, and that can be a deterrent. Certainly, I've seen cases where people start homesteading and they're super excited about it. We've all been there. We've all jumped on a bandwagon at some point, and we get into it, and then something bad happens, and just like that, we're like, this is too hard, and I don't want to be done. Well, when you get to feeling like that, I want you to know that we are here to encourage you. Us and a whole bunch of other homesteaders and preppers online on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all these different things, we are here to encourage you. Please don't ever get so discouraged that you just hang it all up and you're like, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to go to the grocery store. This life is not for me. I want you to know that this is the life for you. Please keep going. Please keep plugging along. I'm telling you, you can do it. It may be some hard work sometimes, but the hard work will pay off in the end. So by no means do I ever want you to think that we are out here trying to scare anybody, because I really don't want you to think that. I just want everybody to know, like, hey, if you've been at least in the United States and pretty much the whole world, and you've been around for at least a few years, you've probably experienced some inflation, some economic hardships, food shortages, whether they be small or big, depending on where you live, housing market collapses and rises and everything else, prices being through the roof. We've had really cold days recently. We've had really hot days in the past year or so. We've had dry times and we've had wet times. So all that to say, everything's a little unpredictable in the world today, and I never want anybody to just be solely reliant on the grocery store down the road, the supermarket around the corner, because it is great and it is super convenient, and that's awesome when you can just walk out your door, or shoot, you can call somebody, go on your phone, whatever the case may be, and have your food or the stuff for your family delivered right to your door in the matter of an hour. Yes, that's great. Yes, that's convenient. But ultimately, that might not always be there. And how great would it be is if you are prepared and you are ready to provide some kind of food and some kind of lifestyle for your family if any of that stuff were to go away for a day, a week, a month, a year or more. So I'm going to ask the question again. Is homesteading and prepping a lifestyle or a trend? Well, if it's a trend, it probably would have been over way long time ago. And for some people over the years, and maybe you watching, maybe it was for a little bit. But for me and my house, and a lot of friends and family that we have, this is a lifestyle. This is something we're going to do, whether in a small or big form, for the rest of our lives. And we hope that you'll also make that same decision to make it a lifestyle choice. So if you've started, you've been homesteading and prepping for a while now, good on you. Keep doing it, keep plugging along. We're here to encourage you. If you just started, hey, you're doing a great job. The starting is usually the hardest part. Maybe if you started before and you stopped because something got too hard, please pick it up, try something again. Maybe try it a different way. Try maybe a different animal, a different vegetable, a different fruit. Try it again. I promise you, you're going to find something that works, and it's going to be very rewarding. And if you've never tried homesteading or prepping before, I promise you, give it a try. Do something. Start with a plant, start with a fruit tree, start with a chicken, something. Get started today. It's going to be one of the most rewarding things you've ever done for you or you and your family. Well, if you've been with us before, you know what we always say here. When you homestead, you're home fed. Make sure you stay tuned to everything we're doing on social media. Follow us on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Follow us on all of it. We'll always keep you updated on everything that's going here on the farm. And stay tuned for future stuff. We got all kinds of good stuff coming on. We're going to be planting. We're going to be getting more animals. This, oh, where's she at? I don't know where she's at. This girl back here, way back here, Fiona, she's pregnant. We're going to have a baby donkey. We got another big surprise coming next month. So stay tuned. There's all kinds of awesome stuff happening here in the homestead. If you haven't started homesteading, start today. We'll see you guys next time.